Hello, people of the world. It is Sunday, people, isn't it? That's why I'm talking to you. Holy fucking shit, apart from last week, obviously. It is Sunday the 10th of March, 2024. And it is 6:33 in the evening, people. We're having a late one tonight. Well, this evening. Apologies for last week. I was indisposed and unable to do a podcast. I had a super busy weekend. I couldn't fit it in. I haven't had a chance to fit it in late either. And then it got about halfway through the week. I had time to do it. And then I thought, fuck it, I'll just wait until this week. Why not? There's no fucking rules. You don't owe me. Getting nasty because of my own lethargy. There we go. Anyway, I hope you're doing well out there, people. I truly, deeply do. You know, if you've got problems, you've got issues going on, you know, obviously don't email in about them or anything like that, but I sympathise. Definitely don't email in, that's for fucking sure. Anyway, what have you been up to, Ben? Good question. Thank you. Hey, a bit of self-awareness. Yeah? A bit of caring on your part. Thank you for that question. Well, I'll tell you what. Since I last spoke to you, which was February, wasn't it? 25th February, was it? Something like that. Just off the top of my head. He says, having it written down in front of him. Since the 25th of February, I have been doing a few gigs, obviously. They were okay, you know, like some nice gigs I've done, which is pretty cool. I also, big shout out to one of Benny's friends, Lewis Chawner. I went to see a play that a friend had written. Oh, la-di-da, are you, Ben? You got friends who have written plays now, have you? You're fucking right, I have. Yeah. I went to the theatre. Oh, yeah. I put on a fucking cravat, you know. Took some KY jelly just in case, you never know. I went to the theatre, not Friday just gone, the Friday before. And I went to the theatre. I booked a ticket on my own to go and see my friend's play. And where I'd booked it, I thought I'd just get a seat on my own. I want to go on the end of an aisle because I'm bound to need a fucking piss. And I don't want to have to squeeze past everybody. And I hate that thing when you're at the theatre or at a show or something and you need a piss. And then that's all you can think about and you're not enjoying the play or whatever stand-up you're going to see. And you miss half of it because you're just thinking, I'm going to piss myself at any moment. So I sat slapped bang on the end of a row. And when the play started, all the lights went out and the only light that fucking didn't go out was the one shining directly above me. I was trying to be discreet, going to see my friend's play. It was very good, by the way. I enjoyed it. It was very interesting. I've never really been to the theatre to watch a play before. I've seen Shakespeare and all that fucking shit. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day and all that, even though that's one of the sonnets? I've been to see Shakespeare, but that's kind of about it. I've never been to see a pantomime, I don't think. Not that I can remember, unless my mum took me when I was a kid. But I'm not really a theatre goer. Massively, you know what I mean? I'll go and see a Shakespeare play or something, but fuck me, they go on, don't they? You know, 2-3 hours. You know, you get to the interval, you've got to rush out. I quite liked it. I went down to the Derngate in Northampton. I don't know whether it's the Royal or the Derngate. I don't know the difference between the two. It was downstairs. Holds about 200-300 people, I think. Lovely little theatre. Just enough people in there. So when everybody pours out at the break, you can go to the toilet quick. You can have a fag outside if you're so inclined, and you can get yourself a drink as well. I went to a bar at the top bit, and there was no one there. got myself a beer, thought, this could be a mistake for the second half. The first half went well. I made it. It was 2 sections split in an hour. So it ran for about an hour, then there was an interval, then it ran for about another hour. And I thought, like, I got a bit cocky. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got a bit cocky. I made it to the end of the first section and I needed a piss, but it wasn't desperate. It didn't distract me from the play, the happenings that are happening on stage. And I managed to make it through the first section. Immediately went to the toilet, obviously. That's the first thing I did. Bang! First person in there. Get to the top bar. Bang! First person there. Loved it. I like this rather than hanging around. You know, apart from the fact you look and feel like an utter weirdo, and you're in your heart of hearts, if you go to the theatre on your own, there was people there I knew, but they weren't sitting anywhere near me, really. There was Pete Tepman was there, like with his missus and their friend, Donna and Neil, like who are also stand-ups, and Pete's stand-up as well, and no Lou as well. My mate Lou used to do stand-up. Now he does acting and theatre and shit like that. So he says, croaking a little bit. Let's have a little bit of tea. Hang on. So I knew people who were going to be there, and I was in your heart of hearts when you go to the theatre or go anywhere like that, cinema on your own. You think of a nightmare scenario in the back of your head where everybody's just going to turn around and start chanting "loser" at you. But I quite enjoyed it. If it wasn't for the fact that I was in, like, you know, blazing light for the whole of it, that was shining directly down on my seat, making me feel a little bit paranoid. But like, I kind of got lost in the play anyway. So it was very funny. It was interesting to see how it was put together. It was a good story. There was really, really funny lines in it, and I fucking enjoyed it. I don't know why I'm wasting my time doing stand-up when I should be writing plays. It seems fucking marvellous. The audience, nobody's going to get punched at a play, are they? Nobody's going to get, like, there was no heckling. There was a mobile phone went off, obviously, and everybody as one hated that person because they've been told, you get told to switch off your mobile phone. There was, but apart from that, it was a very dignified atmosphere. There was a very sort of, it seems a very different crowd to a stand-up crowd. Older, I know you get older crowds at stand-up gigs and that, but, older, middle class, a lot of flowing dresses, a lot of, there was a lot of material going about in that audience, excess material that wasn't particularly needed. There were, there was quirky hats, a few trilbies, I think, a lot of long Macs, that sort of thing, innit? It's fucking theatre people, innit? They enjoy going to the theatre. There was a few younger people in there and that sort of thing as well. It was good to see. But yeah, so I enjoyed the play. It was very interesting watching it. I was very proud of my friend for organising it, writing it, rehearsing it, getting everything sorted, and actually putting on his fucking play. It's a damn rare thing these days. A lot of people talk about doing things, myself included, and never do them. But he did it, and it was very inspiring to watch, I must admit. And I enjoyed it. It was a fucking good night out. Although then we went to, there's a bar on the, one thing I did notice that changes, there's a massive difference between stand-up and the theatre, is after drinks. Now, obviously, I don't usually stay for after drinks because I just want to get the fuck out of there without somebody coming up going, excuse me, I didn't really appreciate what you, fuck off, said about that. You're a fucking comedy night, penis head. Fuck off. One thing I did notice, there's a bar on the corner in Northampton called Franklin's, and it was like where everybody was kind of like converging onto after the play. Like Lou said, like to go and meet him there, and I managed to get to the bar there first as well. It was fucking unbelievable. Somebody bought me a drink as well. Big shout out to that guy, Peter, who'd seen me at a gig somewhere and said thanks for the laughs, and then bought me a drink. Sometimes things like that, you know, it's very nice, very nice. And then I had to, and then I spoke to him for a bit. Then I had to listen to him for a bit. Well, spoke to him for a bit. Let's be nice, Ben. Let's be nice. He was a nice chap. Yeah, the thing I did notice is when the cast came into the pub, there was a rapturous rounds of applause for said cast. I have never seen people walk into, like a stand-up walk into a bar afterwards or walk for a drink afterwards and get a rapturous round of applause. So, you know, it's nice, isn't it? You get that, like, at the end of the play, and then you get it again when you go for a fucking drink. Holy shit. It's probably too much. But there you go. So that's what I did, like, not the Friday, just gone the Friday before. And let me tell you, it kind of fucked me up a little bit because I got a bit carried away. I parked my car up in a car park that closed at like midnight. It got to about 11:15 and I was like, oh, fuck this, we're still out. Jesus, I thought I'd be home by now, right? And then they were going on to another bar. At this point, I'd had like one shandy, I think, and a couple of Cokes. So I went up, got my car, moved it down opposite the pub that we were drinking at, and left my car there. And then went back in the pub, and then when we went off to the Mail Coach, which is just around the corner. It's a nice little pub, the Mail Coach. The last time I went in there, I went on some fucking date with some bird chick. Are you allowed to call them birds anymore? Some chick who was dating for a bit, who turned out to be a fucking nightmare. But I had that. I had a good night on that night. It seems like people reveal themselves. It takes about 3 or 4 dates. That's when you start getting to know somebody, don't you? Because people can only keep it up for so long, can't they? First date, best behaviour, innit? It's first day of school. That's what it is, isn't it? Best behaviour, you're getting your fucking school photos done, your hair's good, everything, innit? Second date, you know, yeah. Turn up late a couple of times, you don't hand in your homework, but it's okay. It's nothing too serious. Third and fourth date, you know, people are setting the science block on fire. That's when you know you're dating a fucking psycho, isn't it? Third or fourth date, because they, you know, they've got to let it out somehow, haven't they? But that's the last time I went there, and that was kind of like a nice. It was kind of like a nice evening. There was a guy playing the guitar, and we were sort of sitting opposite there. There was another couple of couples in there, but there wasn't many people in there. And this guy was just, you know, playing fucking banging tunes. You know, a bit of Radiohead. Not that you really want that on a date, but, you know, bit of Coldplay, I think. But, you know, we can always skip over that. A bit of Nirvana. It's good. So anyway, I stayed out till 1 o'clock in the morning. Holy fucking shit. That's what I'm trying to say. I stayed out until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I dropped my friend home, Pete Techman. I dropped him home, got home about 1 o'clock. Got home about 1:30, I mean. Went for a McDonald's, came back, ate that McDonald's, couldn't sleep, was up till about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then it fucked me for the rest of the weekend. And I wasn't even pissed. I wasn't even drunk. By the end of the night, I'd had 2 shandies and 2 Cokes and a fucking McDonald's. And then for the rest of the weekend, I was just like, oh, I don't know how I used to do it. 20 years ago, I'd have been sitting in a pub Friday night, all night, gone out, drinking late, Saturday morning, get in the pub at about 11, all day at the pub. Sunday, get up for football, all day at the pub. Monday, get up for work. That was it. That was the that's how I spent most of my early 20s. And now I can't even have 2 shandies, 2 cokes on a night out and a late night. I think it was the late night that did it. It just fucked me up. But for the rest of last weekend, I was absolutely knackered. Having a little kip on a Sunday afternoon that turned into about a 4-hour sleep. Oh, fuck me. The thing is, right, I haven't really drank in ages. I know shandy doesn't really count. I know that it has a marginal amount of alcohol in there, but I just don't get any kick out of drinking anymore. Or whereas before, years ago, when you were in your 20s, I used to actually look forward to going out, having a drink, having a good time, or whatever. I was I'm not on the podium dancing or anything like that, but I used to have a drink, have a laugh and that sort of thing, and then that was it. And you think that becomes your whole world at that point, doesn't it? And then you start doing other things, and the people I know from those times are still doing that on a Friday night and a Saturday in their 40s, and you just think, oh, fuck, I couldn't handle that anymore. I just couldn't handle that. Anyway, one thing I have discovered this week, holy fucking shit, I've gone down a few rabbit holes this week, people. One of the things I have discovered, also this week, it's been a bit of a nightmare because I had a tyre go in my car. So I had to miss a fucking gig this week, which was very annoying because I like the gig. It's a gig in Milton Keynes. And it's just fucking fun and great, and you can try new stuff there, and it's great. And I was a little bit disappointed with that. So, one of the things I've discovered that I love this week is watching people get in accidents on the internet. Not on the internet, but watching on the internet people get into accidents. That's the better way to put it, is it? I am fascinated by crashes and, like car crashes, near misses, people getting squashed by shit. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I wasted a good 2 to 3 hours last Sunday. Just, I could have been doing this podcast at that point, but I was you're an hour in watching people get maimed and hurt and that, and you're just chasing the next fix. The worst thing about that is you start watching it and somebody's obviously been really badly injured, and you're like, that's fucking shit. Just on to the next one. I want to see somebody get taken off at the neck. Not that they're like snuff movies or anything like that, but, a good smash where somebody gets T-boned and then thrown out the car. I want to see that. I want to see some acrobatics. That's it. I don't just want to see a fender bender, as they say in the good old United States. I want to see somebody get thrown out, somebody go over a cliff, something like that. I don't want to see them just disappear either. I want camera footage of them descending down that hill, down that slope. But yeah, that's one thing I found I'm totally addicted to. And also, this led me down the rabbit hole of the people who have had weird deaths. I didn't realise this. On Wikipedia, there's a whole fucking section, a whole, that people have put in there by, 20th century, 21st century, 19th century, 18th century deaths by the worst way people have died, or strange or interesting deaths. I urge you to Google it because it is fascinating how many people have died in like a weird way, or, I think that's what we all want. We just don't want to, all of us want to die in our beds, hopefully asleep, so we don't actually feel it, have a heart attack in your sleep, and bang, you're gone. Nobody wants a weird fucking death that makes it to a Wikipedia page. Do they? Jesus. One guy, and the deaths years ago were just, horrific. Not all of them nowadays are great. There was one guy died, his mate was pissed driving home, and he was sick out the back window, and his mate apparently must have drove close to a telephone pole, and his head came off. The guy in the back, not the driver, obviously. And then, because he was driving home pissed, he went home, parked up the car, and went in, fell asleep, and then he got the old on the door in the morning. The police come round. His neighbour had noticed his friend's headless body in the back of the car. Jesus. But there was fucking from years ago, some guy who was drinking mercury or something, or some sort of poison that. Oh no, what was it? It was some radioactive shit that he was drinking for, I don't know, health benefit reasons or something, and then one day his jaw fell off. Fuck me. But without pioneering people like that, how would we know that that's bad for you? There's a lot of unnamed people out there who protect the lot of us from their own stupidity of eating weird shit, mushrooms and that sort of thing. Hey, that looks nice. It's got red and, it's red with white dots all over it. What's the worst that can happen with that? Let's have that for lunch. I don't know. But I am certainly fascinated by all of that shit. I think it's because I'm getting older. This is it, isn't it? And then there was weird shit, then you go in weird animal deaths or whatever. And they're basically, all the weird animal deaths were basically early on were people fucking the animals, and then the animals paying the price for that as well. So the person would get hung for bestiality, and then they'd hang the fucking dog or whatever as well. I think there was an elephant that killed some stuff, and they hung the elephant with the use of a railway crane or something like that. No, I don't think anyone's fucking an elephant, to be honest. That's the elephant's going to know about that, aren't they? Just being slowly approached by somebody with a step ladder. I was thinking the other day, whilst reading that, right, I went down a bit of a bestiality rabbit hole, if you excuse the pun. Now, just to clarify before this section, I haven't got any animals, but it struck me that practice is a lot better known than a lot more well known than it should be. Because surely there's only one side of that entanglement that is talking about that. Isn't there? People just dropping themselves in the shit, are they? Or just not being discreet? I don't know. I've never seen, it goes on, doesn't it? Everybody knows it's out there, isn't it? We fucking joke about it, don't we? Different nations, you fucking sheep shaggers, all that sort of thing. You fucking moose fuckers, all that sort of thing. We fucking joke about it all the time, but there's people out there doing that shit. But there's certain, not to all animals, obviously, are they? There's certain animals that have never been fucked, never going to be fucked. And I imagine it's predominantly done by guys, isn't it? I imagine so. I can't see that, there's going to be women out there, fucking take a look at a horse and go, holy fucking shit, I'll have a bit of that. What the fuck is that? Swinging right there. There's guys after that as well, I imagine. But yeah, I imagine it's predominantly guys. Women would have to sort of like coax them in, wouldn't they? Oh dear, get dressed up as a lady horse and just leave a flap open at the back. I don't know. But yeah, it just struck me that why is that so well known? There was also something I read yesterday. When did I read it? Was it yesterday or this morning? It might have been this morning. About 2 humpback whales have been recorded having sexual relations. Now, the interesting thing that turns out about this is that both of the humpback whales, holy fucking shit, here we go. LGBTQ time. Both of the humpback whales are men. There we go. People saying this sort of thing is against nature. There we go. 2 humpback whales going for it. It did say that it was quite a funny article actually when I was reading it. It did say that one of the males was sort of like quite emaciated and weak. And the other one was pursuing it. And the reasons why they got such good pictures is the emaciated and weak one that they thought was ill was trying to cower by the boat. But the headline said 2 males recorded having sex. I don't think from that information in the text that one of the males was trying to get away from the other one. Basically, what you've recorded on film there is a humpback whale rape, by the sounds of it. A little bit of prison justice going on there in the humpback whale community, isn't it? Emaciated and weak, couldn't fight him off. It's like Andy Dufresne in Shawshank. I don't know, man. But there you go. What's wrong with that? Well, like there is, I imagine there's not much consent in the animal kingdom, is there? I imagine there isn't. If you're a humpback whale and you're thousands of miles away from another humpback whale and you see, it's difficult to tell. I imagine like other humpback whales can tell like whether the other whale's male or female, obviously. But yeah, that emaciated whale must have been thinking, oh God, I feel awful. Oh, I feel terrible. I haven't eaten in days. Can't keep anything down. I feel weak. Oh, my day can't really get any worse. Yes, it can. Hey, there's another humpback whale over there. I wonder if he can help me out. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's coming for that booty, baby. Well, there we go. Innit? It's one of those, you got to take the rest with us. You just got to swim that shit off, buddy. And nobody else is around. At least it wasn't recorded for posterity. Imagine that. Knowing that. The first actual sort of like, mating that's been recorded between 2 males and you're one of them. I don't know, man. But there you go. It's nice to, have a bit of pride out there. Have a bit of pride. That's it, isn't it? It all goes on in the animal kingdom, doesn't it? But I think that, there's definitely some animals that humans have never interfered with, I think. Tiger. Not while they're awake, anyway. I don't know. Like, it's weird, isn't it? It's just a weird concept of what, That's got to be desperate. You've got to be out in the wilds, You're lonely. your missus has left you, you've gone out into the wilds to find yourself hunkered down in a cave in winter, you're cold. And then you just hear a bear snoring away, hibernating, and you think, why not? You know, I'm a single guy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. Well, not that, obviously. That's not what I've been up to, but that is what I've been up to for the last week or so. In a nutshell, in this episode, you know, I urge you to look at the funniest deaths or weirdest deaths on Wikipedia, though. It's fucking hilarious, some of them. And sort of like a little bit of karma going on in some of them as well. Anyway, people, I am going to watch the Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua fight now, because I found a copy of it on YouTube. So I'm going to watch all, 4 or 5 minutes of it. And that is it for this episode. That's episode 322, people. That is the end. I hope you have a beautiful week. Enjoy yourselves. And I'll speak to you next week, motherfuckers. Take care.